Well, welcome back, everyone. It was an intense and volatile week in markets last week, with price action falling down effectively after the start of the week. We had a shortened trading day on the 19th, and of course, we had a full week of trade this past week with downward action in play for most of the week, really brought to you by Mag 7 stocks. We did see a lot of reversals off of lows, inclusive as of on Friday, as I record this video just about an hour or so before cash hours close on Friday. We have reversed up off of making lower lows. However, we are in a downtrend, but in a market that has seen this level act as support or thereabouts. From the earlier part of May, we had a massive rally from about the 7,100-ish, 7,200-ish area, all the way up to the 7,700 area. Most of that was torn back down. Then it was built back up, then torn back down again. This is, of course, trauma drama for the market, really led by the Mag 7 and NASDAQ-related names. When we take a look at the NASDAQ from the earlier part of May, we've seen that same type of action. Earlier part of May, a rise from about the 28,500-ish area all the way up to the 31,100-ish area, back down. The whole thing was torn down. The whole thing was brought back up, and we're on a downtrend again into the end of that this last market week, with the potential for more negativity. But we are very oversold, and there are a lot of tails on the candles. Alongside that, we are seeing the things that the market is tethered to, like currencies, like rates, tell us a little bit of a different story. The euro remains in a downtrend, which means the dollar remains in an uptrend, and the euro is broken down to lows that we have not seen since all the way back over here at the earlier part of June in 2025. So it's been a year in the making. The euro has come down, the dollar has come up, and the euro is trying to give us that oversold bounce. We are seeing that depression of the dollar at dollar highs, that bounce on the euro, reflect somewhat positively on precious metals, but we still don't have precious metals fully off the ground. Gold indeed has turned around, but it has not given us a signal that says up, up, and away. We were looking at day trades earlier today between the 4060 area to the 4100 area. They worked out fairly well, but again, we are not seeing a full turn signal. We're deeply oversold. The US-Iran issue has left oil on the back foot down, and oil is breaking down again on the end of the week. It is continuing to tilt down. That's supportive to the market, but that's not the correlation that matters as much anymore. It really is about NASDAQ direction. So the NASDAQ, like the S&P, came down, made lower lows for the week. We have not yet come down to the early June lows, the June 9th to 11th lows, and we're in a downtrend formation. If the market ends this week miraculously getting back above 29,820, we have a higher probability for a solid bounce that could take us back up into the 30,200-ish area. If we end up closer to lows on the day, we are still probably going to see a little bit of an oversold bounce, but we could be ending up with selling into Monday morning. And remember, next week is a shortened week in observance of Independence Day, July the 4th. Friday, markets will be closed. Cash hours will be closed. So it's a shortened week of trades. So there's a lot to get done in a very short amount of time. Now back to the primary market over here. If it is able to surmount that 7470 area before the close on Friday, we then have the opportunity to see that oversold bounce bloom, not necessarily getting us high enough to repair the market, but getting us up to an area where we could see some stability come in. And then, of course, it's the next sets of data and events that are going to make a difference. The technical signaling on the market is still quite negative. The daily chart is in a sell signal state. You can see the triple S down triangle. 4-hour chart's in a sell signal state, and the 1-hour chart has returned to a sell signal state, but is trying to get back into a buy signal state. The daily chart and the 4-hour chart give us that next week of forecast. And what are they saying? There's likely going to be another low before this market can stabilize and try to bounce back up and sustain that bounce. So even if we get off the mat into the end of this week and we find the S&Ps crawling their way up, grinding their way up above the 7470-ish area, and we see the NASDAQ getting above that 29,820 area, which again is still a tall order for now. But if we do see that, we're not likely going to see a bounce that turns the whole market back up to an uptrend to take out the all-time highs. It's probably of the dead cat variety. It would be a bounce that then gets trounced and takes us back down to June 9th to June 11th lows. And that's going to be a critical moment to analyze the market. And of course, we're going to be discussing topics just like these and many more at the upcoming Wealth 365 Summit. So go to joinziad.com, join us for the next summit. There's an incredible lineup of speakers. I look very much forward to presenting several times and sharing my insight with you and trading tactics and tools, of course. For those of you that have heard presentations from me in the past, they're power-packed, and I'm interested in giving you forward-looking remarks with transactable outcomes. Looking forward to seeing you at the summit. Go to joinziad.com or click the link in the emailer. We'll see you there, and we'll see you in videos just like these into the week ahead. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day today, and thank you so much for watching.